How you been?
I'm good. I'm good. I can't wait to start doing club dates, which is a weird thing.
I can't wait to go sing Sweet Caroline. I
No,
can't
I'm
wait.
not. You have a slamming club date band.
Ever since I committed myself to being a band leader, the plan was, all right, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go all in on this. But the requirement from me is that I'm going to surround myself with cats that are killing, that I have a good time playing with.
Were your first jobs playing trombone? Or do you think your career kind of started with both?
First gigs were trombone, marching in a brass band on weekends in the north end of Boston at these like Italian festivals. You know, the church festivals with the brass band, and you
Yeah.
would play for like 11 hours, man. It was just like all day. I took this audition right after my right after I graduated, moved to New York. I had this gig catering, right? And then part of the responsibility I had was I had to keep the van all day. So I would take my trombone with me and move around Manhattan to different parking spots. And I had all my excerpts and all my stuff, and I would just go in the back of the van and sit and practice in the van.
What are people like hearing
And
that in the parking lot being like, what the hell's going on?
mostly where I would end up practicing, because I thought about that, I would park myself up on like Ninth Avenue behind Lincoln Center. And I figure, well, nobody's going to complain over here because I'm right by Juilliard and all
Right.
that. And then I got this phone call from Jim O'Connor. He had gotten a call to put a four-piece horn section together for a reunion tour with the Monkees. And I went, you got to be kidding me. The Monkees are going to
Yeah.
go on tour and they want to take a horn section. And it was a real gig. It was like, they showed me the itinerary. I was playing all these stadiums and the
Right.
real, like, honest God tour. And I went, oh my God, I want to do this. Then I ended up singing on the tour, backup singer and trombone player, and then
Right.
that became like my thing.
Was there any point when you were on the road where you just got really tired? Because it's exhausting being on the road.
Many years went by. I thought, you know what? I want to see if I can make it in New York, like New York or LA, without having to go out on tour. I want to really try to get into this jingle business. I caught the tail end of that, when that was a thing. That's also when I got into club dates. Unless you had a Broadway show, you were doing club dates.
Did you ever think when you wanted to come home from the road that that could be also a part of your career, playing in the pit
Yeah,
on Broadway?
yeah.
And you got it.
I met Tommy Burns on a club date. He was a guest at a club date.
Wow.
This all eventually became the show Moving Out, which was the Twilight Zone, Billy Joel.
Did you ever work with Billy Joel personally?
I was really fortunate to be part of the last play at Shea shows. It was Billy's regular band. They complemented it with a huge string section, extra horn players, and I played horn and I sang.
Do you think your trombone chops are easier to lose than your vocal chops as far as using that muscle?
Definitely. Think about playing a brass instrument. Think about playing a trombone. It's a big piece of metal. It's a big piece of plumbing that you're blowing air through that you need to make sound good and have technique and all these. You got to put time in.
But do you think that because, I don't know, somewhere along the line you learned the right technique in your voice, you use your vocal cords properly?
I was talking to a friend of mine yesterday, literally yesterday, about that, about the vocal chops and using them and not using them. There was definitely a positive to having some time off from my voice, but I'm not saying that I welcome that time off. I didn't really enjoy having that time
I
off.
hear you. But you know what I relate what you're saying to? When Dave Keys got hired to play with Willie DeVille, he told me
Yeah.
Willie wanted him to stop playing the bass, stop practicing, and just come on and be free. And
Yeah.
I've kind of always remembered that sometimes when I take a break from the drums and I come back on, it's new. And I have all
Yeah.
these new ideas. I kind of relate that.
Yeah. It goes back to a thing where it's somewhere in our brains. I don't know if it's the left side or the right side.
Yeah.
All of that stuff that you learned it's there. It's always going to be there, and you have to stop thinking about it. You know, from your heart, you let that make the music, not
Yeah.
you thinking about how you're going to make the music. You just make the music, you know. And sometimes you need to get outside of your brain body to do that.
All right, I'm gonna go irrelevant here. Here it goes, dude. Are
Okay.
you a Sopranos fan?
Oh yeah, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I
Do you know
watched.
where Do you know where I'm going with this?
No,
You don't know.
I have no idea.
Well, I try to do
No.
some kind of research before I do these podcasts. So you know what comes up on
Okay,
IMDb, which I didn't know you did this. You did Not Fade Away. It's a David Chase film.
that's right. Yeah. Okay. All right. Now I know where you're going. Stephen Van Zandt was the connection there. When we were doing that scene for that movie, have you seen that movie?
Yes, I have, but I didn't know you were in it. I don't know the scene you're in.
We were like a 1950s or early
Yeah.
1960s vocal quartet, like a live radio vocal quartet in a commercial. The actual recording session for that we were doing at Steven's studio. He was in another room for hours working on music for Lillehammer.
Yeah.
And I remember at one point we had been sitting there, and he came out and he said, you know, that face that he makes, and he said, "You guys come in here,
Yeah.
come in here. We're gonna." And then we just all got around a microphone, and we didn't know what we were doing. And there was like, not only was the four of us and him, but there was like, you know, assistants, and you know, and he said, "Okay, we're all gonna sing this." And I don't know, we started singing something about Lillehammer. Lillehammer. I don't remember what it was.
So how long did the Kevin Osborne band have to perform for Billions?
Oh, Bill, you did a little research before you had me come on here. That
That's
was
right.
really fun. Those set days, man. You show up at like 5 or 6 in the morning, and they take you to your trailer. You sit in your trailer. You go to hair and makeup at like 7 in the morning, and then for the next 12 hours, you don't know whether you're on or you're sitting, or you're on or you're sitting.
All right, a couple more things. I don't want to keep you all
Good, man.
freaking day.
No, that's fine. I'm sorry, I didn't do homework before I came on here.
It's not your job. I helped you engineer a song you wrote. I'm a big fan of it.
I would like to do something with that song. It's still sitting.
When you wrote that song, like what inspired it? Was it melody and words first, or was it a chord pattern?
I'll tell you exactly what inspired that tune, man, was that groove that just goes dun 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 dun
Yeah.
dun 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 dun.
Hold My Hand. That's that feel, right?
Yeah, Jess Glynn. You know,
Yeah.
that tune. Sort of whenever we play that tune, I just go like, man, I love this vibe. I just love this kind of vibe.
Are you happy with the way, like, that you were able to write such a quality song that, like, you continue to write music? Or are you just like,
Yeah, it comes in little waves. I'm not one of those kind of writers that I just today I'm going to have my coffee and I'm going to exercise and do my yoga and read a little bit, do a puzzle, and then I'm going down to my studio and I write for 3 hours. I don't have a methodical approach to it. It comes out of nowhere where I'm out in the yard or something, and an idea will come.
Are there more opportunities in the music business now than there were when you were first getting your career started?
I think there probably are, but they're not the same kind of opportunities, because the landscape has changed so much.
So even though it's different, is the playing field the same?
I don't think so.
No, it's not.
No.
Would you rather start your career in this time or where you started?
Well, there's only one answer to that: when I started.
Yeah.